RWM Home Loans in Fresno is a proud sponsor of Fuego FC. RWM Fresno, mortgages made easy and where your journey begins. Little Caesars has been a proud partner of Fuego FC for over a decade. Check out their new location on Cedar and Shields in Fresno and make sure to order some crazy bread. The Iron Office, a 24/7 private gym, veteran-owned, right here in Fresno, California. Make sure to lift heavy, lift often with the Fuego's official gym partner, the Iron Office. Envision Realty. We want to help those achieve the dream of home ownership. We are your voice and will be right by your side from beginning to end and beyond. Visit www.envisionfresno.com and be a future home owner. Well, we've talked a whole lot about chickens before getting on this, and I guess it leads into the fair has a lot of things about animals and food and also gaming this year. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what's going on at the fair this year.
Well, my name's Kevin, and I part owner of Blue Shell Gaming. We are a retail gaming location here in Fresno, but we do a lot more than just sell video games. We, play video games. We run eSports. We do events and tournaments and a lot of other things like that. But we've been around. We've been doing it for a long time. We built a pretty good brand and reputation for it. And so, 2 years ago, because last year we didn't have a fair, Lauri invited us to come out in partnership with them and run a tournament and do gaming and esports and bring it to the fair. And it was a huge success.
Yeah. Gaming is, I think about it from like my mid-30s age demographic where it's like we were raised in this gaming world, like from the jump. I remember when I was growing up, I was huge into like Nintendo and Super Nintendo. But then once, I had this love for sports, and once I could play sports online with like FIFA and NFL and NBA and all this stuff, I got addicted, and it became this. And still to this day, when I play a video game, it feels like this for me. It's the one thing that feels almost as close to on-the-field competition as I could find mentally. Like, I love to compete. I love to play sports. If I go out and try to jump, I'm going to tear an ACL at this point. So being able to compete with friends, family, whoever, is like a super enjoyable experience. And I feel like there was this stigma growing up of like gamers are lazy and they don't do this and they're not competitive. And now I think that's like, it's completely changed the industry.
That's still a hurdle that we face on a regular basis with parents and people who feel like games are, keeping kids inside and lazy and not doing things. But for a kid who doesn't play sports or isn't, how do you say, like, they're they're athletically challenged to be able to pick up a controller and play a sport well in a video game. That's a big deal for them, and it's exciting for them. And then learning, not just like I'm trying to teach this to schools now on the education side of things. There's a big part of it is just competition. Teaching people how to compete and how to compete well, how to win well, how to lose well, how to compete with others, and how to do it in a competitive manner where you're wanting to win and you're wanting to be competitive, but also you're handling the stresses of that well. It's mental. There's physical challenges to it as well, but it's a mental game, and they really have to learn, just like chess or anything else. You have to learn how to handle the competition, how to play the strategy, and it's valuable for the next generation to grow in that.
Yeah, I think It's funny because working in soccer and professional sports for the last 10 years of my life, some of the best gamers that I've seen have actually been some of the professional athletes. Like a lot of the soccer players will play FIFA at like a really, really high level. And it's because I feel like the games have gotten so advanced now that they actually do take in real life strategy of the game on the field in real life, and it's happening virtually. And so understanding where defenders should be or shouldn't be, or where to set up a particular play to score a goal, like these athletes have this deep understanding of the match and the strategy, and it translates into the game sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I think too, you have to look at what our kids have gone through in the last year. And I know I have 2 boys, 13 and 12, and you know, they going through everything last year where they couldn't be with their friends, and they couldn't, you know, they didn't have that social interaction. I can say that, you know, gaming for my boys kept them engaged and kept them learning social skills and made it so that they could, you know, get through those times when they couldn't see their friends. And
Let's
I
be
have
honest,
2
it
boys.
kept them sane.
It kept them sane. Well, and let's be honest, it kept me sane. But I have 2 boys who are very different. I have one who is very analytical and really likes to analyze and dive into how things are done and why they're done, and is not athletic. I mean, he trips over thin air, and that's okay. And I have another one who, you know, wants to play every single sport known to man, and is he is athletic, and he can, you know,
And also loves video games.
Loves video games. But it's interesting to watch them game against each other in sports games, and watch my non-athletic child beat his athletic brother because he takes the mental and the analytical side of it, and he's like, oh, I can place someone here and do this and do this, and
right, strategy.
It's fun. Yeah, it's teaching them, you know, a whole nother set of life skills.
It is, and the communication side is a funny aspect for me, because anybody who's played a game online realizes the level of communication can be a little funky at times.
Yeah.
So how, like, you know, I know you guys work with youth on a lot of different things. How do you utilize the communication skills and kind of like improve upon them or make them better versus just the standard F you, go eat shit, you know, that type of thing? Like,
I mean, that's part
that you
of
hear
like,
online gaming.
Getting good coaches and people who can train well. Because I really try to explain to people, like, a gaming coach, someone who coaches eSports, is just like a soccer coach or a football coach. They don't just teach you how to play the game. They teach you about life. They teach you how to act, how to interact, how to play as a team. And so a good coach isn't somebody who's just good at a game. Usually there's somebody who's decent at a game, but they understand the game well, but they also are good at life, and they understand life, and they can teach a kid about life. Because if you can't teach someone how to win well, I mean, you see it at these like big competitions, these fighting game competitions, guys throwing their fight stick across the room, or they're, you know, getting in someone's face when they win, and it's just not good sportsmanship. Well, that's not what we wanted to teach, because that's the thing that gets highlighted. That's the thing that everyone sees, like, oh yeah, see, look at gamers. They're not, you know, they're not good people, or they, you know, that's how they act. And so really a good coach teaches someone how to win, and, you know, shake someone's hand, and, you know, congratulate somebody if they lose.
Why'd you guys, what made you want to do this? Like, what made you want to transition from being a retail shop into the community?
It's a natural evolution to what we do anyways. I mean, we started the business because I was a video game collector. A friend of mine's a video game collector and a reseller, and he, you know, we kind of just merged the two things. We love video games, and it's just kind of a natural evolution of the way video games are going. For me, our growth into, like, we're getting ready to work with like Fresno Unified, Clovis Unified, and also with Fresno State and their eSports program. For me, the youth aspect of it comes from my background. I was a youth pastor for years. And so really what we're trying to do is the same thing we try to do at church, where the kids come to youth group and they love coming to youth group because we play games and we have fun. And then when they graduate, there's this divide between main service and the youth group. They go, I don't know what they do over there, and I don't know what's happening. It's the same thing's happening right now with our high school esports programs and our Fresno State college esports program. There's a big gap. And so what we want to do is build a bridge where we can help cycle back and forth through high school transitioning into college, and let them know that there is actually jobs and potentials to become professional gamers in esports.
Yeah, it's
athletes.
Interesting to me because I grew up here. I grew up not really having a wide scope or understanding of the world and the outside world and what types of jobs were available out there. Growing up as a kid and not the greatest situation, it's like you see cops and you see teachers and nurses, and that's really all you know. But I was blessed with an opportunity to get introduced into the professional side of sports and realize there's tons of career opportunities, not just being an athlete. I wasn't going to be a professional athlete, unfortunately, but I loved sports so much that I wanted to stay involved, and I got exposed to understanding there's marketing, there's accounting, there's a medical side, there's sales, there's videography and photography and like all these other things that surround the industry of professional sports. And I kind of see some of those things in gaming as well. And as Overwatch League and all of these other things, now it's on ESPN, there's arenas where people are watching esports. I mean, this industry is growing, and I think for people that love it, especially kids, they can be exposed to like, all right, maybe I wasn't going to grow up to be an accountant, but if I can be an accountant for Overwatch League, like I'm good at math, I can do that. And maybe it sparks some type of interest for them to pursue education or do something. So in my mind, I think, people out there might think they still have the stigma about gaming. But to understand that it could open a whole career opportunities for a lot of these kids, I think is something exciting.
So that was honestly one thing that we struggled with when we started this partnership in 2019. The fair is a 138-year tradition, and we struggled with some people who really didn't understand or see the big picture of gaming, and a lot of folks were disappointed that we would bring something in that would quote not get kids outside, and it would keep them sitting there, and it would all of those things. And so it was a big educational piece for us to be able to take that back to those people who were saying I can't believe you would bring this, to then put it out and say kids can do this, kids can do this, kids can do, like, it's such a wide variety of what they can do. It's not and I joke with these guys about it all the time. It's not the kid sitting in his mom's basement at 45 playing games. Like, it's a career. There's so much tied to it. Yeah.
Right.
And when you look at the jobs, it's not. It's the same thing you were saying. Like, not everyone gets drafted into the NFL or into professional sports, but those people who work up, there's jobs throughout. There's guys that sat as a second string quarterback and didn't get to play a single game, but they become a coach later. They become there's other jobs in the industry, and so now we have live streaming video games. We have people behind the scenes designing graphics arts, video, everything to do with that. And then even you mentioned, like, on the accounting side of things, there's a lot of live streamers now that pay other people to do all their video editing, all of their behind the scenes stuff, all their art for their stream. There's so much other stuff to do that's not just gaming related, but it adds to the careers. So it adds to education, it adds to building skills. It's an industry that and when you look at, like, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, owns an esports league.
Right.
The big name people are buying up and getting into this because it's that big of a deal.
I mean, we haven't talked real deep about it, just very surface level at Fuego, but a lot of the other sports teams throughout the country are getting involved in esports and sponsoring a sports team. And it's something that we would like to do in the future. It's probably a long-term goal, but to be able to have not only soccer athletes wearing the badge, but also esports athletes that can wear the badge and represent their hometown, represent the Central Valley. I think it's a really cool thing. Something I wanted to ask you about is, like, what does the future of gaming look like? Because I watched Ready Player One the other day, and have you seen it, Lauri?
No.
I mean, if you have not seen Ready Player One, whether you like gaming or not, it's a valuable movie, kind of taking a look like 50 years into the future on what our lives might look like if gaming continues in this direction. So I wanted to ask you about that, because that movie is super interesting to me.
I have no idea what the future of gaming looks like. I mean, I'm looking, 1, 2, 5 years down the road. And so it's hard to imagine like us living our entire lives online the way that they do, or in virtual reality.
And I guess to explain it so that we're all included, in Ready Player One, it's 50 years in the future pretty much. And everybody is gaming, and it's all virtual reality. And much like games like World of Warcraft or EverQuest or some of these other like big world games where like you play inside of a world. If anyone's ever played Zelda, it was like kind of the beginning of that. But these people are, and then they have like walking things, and you're walking and running, and a lot of people are living their entire days inside of the video game because it's more enjoyable than regular life. And so that's something that I could totally see taking place.
Yeah. And then, as they quest and they do things, they earn money and coins in currency games, and it translates to real world money, which we've seen grow in, crypto and the way things are going in that direction too. So, it's possible to move in that direction. I don't know. It's crazy.
How much
to think.
has the gaming industry migrated and moved, since January of 2020?
It's a weird evolution. And so what we've noticed is like 2018, 2019, everyone in the news was talking about how video games were bad for your kids. Don't let your kids play video games. Even, I haven't heard anything for the last, year and a half, 2 years, because during COVID, video games saved everyone's life. But just this last week, I heard China is now restricting the amount of video games that they're going to allow any kid, not just like, oh, this is what we recommend. Like in China, you are restricted to 2 hours of video game play a day or like a week. It was some crazy number.
Yeah. So we were kind of following the same thing and looking at that going, for some kids, that's gonna that would be like limiting my kid who is, full blown wants to do everything. That would be like limiting him. You can only play one sport a year. That's it. Sorry. I just
or you can only practice once a week.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people don't understand. In order to be good at video games, just like you're good at a sport, you have to play, you have to practice, you have to compete, you have to lose, and so you can become better at what you do. And so, I think it's one of those kind of like dictatorship China things. So I don't think we're ever going to follow anything of that drastic nature.
We're starting to lean there.
It's
it is, but I think
what I've seen is the transition from people really feeling like video games were the problem to people realizing that video games aren't a problem, that instead they can be a good solution because they can keep people sane. I literally had people coming in during the entire pandemic into our store buying games going, man, this is the only thing that I can do to keep my kid from jumping off the walls right now.
I was right there.
Yeah. And so it was a service for people to have those. And
I think there's this misconception. I actually listened to a podcast the other day on addiction. And it talked about, when does something become an addiction? Like, there are many things that we do in our lives. Was Michael Jordan addicted to basketball? Maybe.
No, he was addicted to winning.
He was, but an addiction truly is when other parts of your life are failing because of your obsession with a particular thing, whether it's a drug or whether
winning.
It's right. Yeah. But was that negative to his life?
The Last Dance showed me a lot more about Michael Jordan. Watching that documentary, it was so good.
Incredible documentary.
I don't want to get sidetracked, but I love that documentary.
It was really good.
Yeah, but I think that's a fear from parents is like, oh, my kid is addicted to video gaming. And I think it's an important thing to understand, like an addiction is something that negatively affects the rest of their life. So if they're still healthy and their social skills are improving and they have friends and all these other things are okay and they're not some pale vampire in the basement that isn't getting any vitamin D, I don't think video gaming should be viewed in that type of way.
Yeah, there's a healthy balance, and that's part of what parenting is. You've got to have a healthy balance for your kids.
Well, if it was sports or something else, they would have said, oh, he's passionate about. You would use a different word. You say, oh, he's passionate about that, instead of saying he's addicted to it. Well, why does the stigma have to be? Is it because of your narrow thought process and not what the thing actually is?
Or for me, I can say, like, we have, people who are like, oh, well, he plays video games all day. He must be lazy. Well, it's not lazy. I don't know, that the mental and the, what it takes for them to play those games I mean, it's
it can be
just
hard.
as much. To me, it's just as much. And I mean, and then when you get in the VR and the physical activity with the VR, I don't think people realize that part of it either.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been surprised to not see the VR side take off as much as I thought it was going to. Maybe the right game hasn't hit yet, or the right technology, but I think that's going to move.
There's definitely been a huge advancement just over the last, I'd say 5 years or so with like the ease of getting a good VR, like getting like a Quest 2, they're $299 or $249 at Target now, and they have all the sensors built in. They have all the paddles you need. You plug it in, it's wireless, it connects to everything. You can play almost everything. I have one at home, and let me tell you, I play it about once a month, but I play on my consoles once. Well, I mean, I'd like to play more than I do. I'm too busy selling video games to actually enjoy them. But the point is, like, it doesn't.
You still play console a lot more than you play.
A lot more.
Right? Why?
And I think part of it has to do with, for me, it's a relaxation thing where I feel like when I put the VR on, I have to be ready. I have to be on. I have to be standing. I have to be set up. I have to, interact. And when I want to play a game, it's more of a mental relaxation for me. I get to shut out the world, and I get to spend some time in this other world, and it's relaxing for me. So VR isn't relaxing for me. It's more of a I mean, I'd get up and play the Wii before I'd play the VR because you feel like you're having to attach so much to yourself, so it's like cumbersome.
Yeah,
it's a burden. Whereas sitting
you
back in a chair,
set yourself up.
Set yourself up to do it. Yeah.
So you said something that was interesting to me: console gaming. So is it more console gaming right now or online gaming?
Well,
Curious.
online's both. So the war is between console and PC, but both of them are online, and they both can compete with each other now. So the big battle, is PC over console.
Yeah. So do you keep buying the console? And this is just like, so here's my mom hat.
Mm-hmm.
We buy these consoles, and then I'm like, well, you guys aren't using these. Like, you're just on your computer, and now they want to build these ginormous computers.
That's the big problem right now too, is computer components are like impossible to find. We were talking about things that are hard to find. You can't find chicken wings. Well, you can't find computer components either. A video card that would cost $200-$300 a few years ago, now you sell for $1,000 on eBay. And I'm like, I'd build a whole computer for $1,000. Why would I pay $1,000 for a video card?
Well, and you're having to now. You've got all these kids who have watched it and heard and seen how they could build their own computers, but they can't even find the materials to be able to build it. And so then they're buying one, but it's not exactly what they want, and it's a struggle.
Right. That's why a console's convenient.
Yeah.
In a way, because it's all right there. But there is, from gaming myself, there is a competitive advantage, I think, to people with PCs. I mean, you have more control abilities because of all the buttons on your keyboard versus just a controller.
There's a huge
and the
debate.
Precision of a mouse versus a console controller is...
Yeah. Well, there's a huge debate, and I saw this debate the other day really get sparked in the Call of Duty Warzone community, and a big streamer posted something about like, controller players will never be in my top 10. And I mean, the guy took a beating by like some of the biggest people in the industry who play and compete and win at high level with controller. Controller for some people is more accurate of an input because of the size and the amount of how everything they need is so much closer together.
Mm-hmm.
With a keyboard, it's a little bit more spread out. You have a lot more buttons to press. And for like a role-playing game or something like that, but for a shooter or a sports game, sometimes the accuracy or the precision you get with a keyboard and mouse, it doesn't trump the convenience of having everything at your fingertips all at once, and having every finger being able to move independently and do what it needs to do without having to move your hand around. And so there's a big debate on input when it comes to like graphics and that sort of thing. PC is always going to be far superior because they're always going to be building them bigger and better, because what you're buying in a console is basically a slimmed down computer. But in order to sell it for $399, $299, they obviously have to slim down.
They don't sell for
parts.
that anymore.
Well, they're $499, $599 now. But I mean,
still cheaper than putting a computer together.
Putting a computer together, you're spending a minimum of $1,000, and that's if you find all the parts at retail and you don't have to go get gouged by some guy on Craigslist. So the divide is about 50%, I mean, cost-wise, but they build their operating systems to run more efficiently and that sort of thing. But there's a bigger selection of games also on PC, and with Steam and the ability to like download everything and have it all at access. There's no media, you know.
Right. And so how did we get to the fair and doing this at the fair, and how does this actually work to be able to run gaming at the Big Fresno Fair?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm glad I have two boys who are very into it, because they are the ones who really, for me, were like, oh, this could be a cool exhibit. And then we found Blue Shell, and they have been heaven sent. I mean, and what they are doing in their locations, and you know, with the schools and with everything, it's fantastic. It's just a whole nother area that fits. So the mission of the Big Fresno Fair is to celebrate, educate, and have fun. And I mean, this encompasses everything that we do. And, you know, we like to pride ourselves on having something for everyone. And this really, you know, does that. I mean, you've got adults and children, and I mean, it fits for everybody. And so when we started this partnership in 2019, we didn't really know what we were getting into. And it was definitely you know, let's throw it up on the wall and see what happens and how it works. And it did. And we had our hurdles.
Yeah.
But this year I'm super excited.
We're going to blow it out of the park this year. And that's one of the things that's going to be, it is going to be something for everybody. Where, you know, we're talking about the debates between the different types and the different whatnots, but we're bringing it all. So we're going to have some laptop PCs running PC-based games like League of Legends, and we're going to have Fresno State's eSports team come out and bring their collegiate players to play and teach on a few days. They play Overwatch, League of Legends, and Rocket League, you know, which is kind of a really eclectic blend of games, because Rocket League is basically soccer with race cars. Overwatch is, you know, a first-person shooter game, and then League of Legends is a strategy role-playing type game. So you get a little bit of everything with that variety. But then what we do mostly console, but we're branching into PCs because of the way that education goes. A lot of it's done on PC because it's easier for teaching and that sort of thing. But we do a lot of console, so we're bringing a PS5, we're bringing PS4s and Xbox Ones to play modern games, to do, you know, FIFA tournament, to do a Smash Bros tournament on Switch, to do Fortnite tournaments on newer gen consoles. But in addition to that, we're also bringing Nintendo's, Super Nintendo's, Sega Genesis retro games, PS1, stuff that we can play more classic games. So are you going
to have a whole seminar on like how to take the cartridge and blow the air in it?
I miss those days.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and your gold little
blowing
thing
in the cartridge
Zelda.
is not good for the video games.
So you've taken my whole childhood.
Ruin this.
Here.
When you blow into a video game, you're putting condensation and heat on the cartridge that creates more condensation, and then it creates rust. And the pins rust, and then your game doesn't work anymore.
Well, why the hell did it work then?
I know.
When I blew on it and then I put it in and I turned it on.
The 80s are like now
what did
mystery.
What did everyone assume that you were doing when you blew on a cartridge?
Blowing the dust off.
Yep, never. It doesn't work. You don't blow dust off a cartridge because the dust isn't. It's not on there enough to be blown off.
That is the only way my Top Gun game would work.
You know why, though? The heat from your breath actually transfers to the pins. When the pins get warm, they make better contact inside the system. It has everything to do with the heat and nothing to do with the actual air you're
So what's
expelling.
the best way to clean off?
Rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip.
Rubbing alcohol on
Which is funny because you read the back of a cartridge and every single one of them says, do not use rubbing alcohol. You don't know why? Because they wanted you to buy their cleaning kit, which came with what? Rubbing alcohol.
Wow.
But you also have to use 91% or better rubbing alcohol. If you use like a 50-50 from Dollar Tree, you're just putting half water in your system, and then you're more likely to have rust anyways. So they're protecting you from buying cheap rubbing alcohol. But yeah, 91% rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip, it's the only way you're getting anything off of that cartridge.
My whole childhood has been redefined.
Ruined.
Sorry. Every time I look at somebody blowing a cartridge, I go, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. So,
but I did it just yesterday. So
did you? You know, every once in a while, there's some nostalgia.
When nothing else works. This Ninja Gaiden copy on Nintendo, and I was like, I got to get this game to work for this guy because he really wanted to get it working. And I even took the cartridge apart, took the board out of it, and I like put some stuff on the pins to like take the corrosion off because it was pretty beat. You know, these games are 30, 40 years old now.
It's crazy they still work.
35 years. And so, you know, I got it like really clean and nothing else worked. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to do the last ditch effort. And I blew on it and I got a little bit of a picture, but it was like really pixelated. I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work, bro. Sorry.
Bummer. Well, nostalgia,
yeah.
I guess.
But in addition to all the console type and PC type gaming, we do have a guy I just met with yesterday who's going to be bringing out arcade systems. So we're going to set up a video arcade as well. So there'll be, you know, just be a coin up type video arcade. People want to come in, drop a few quarters, play some video games. But what we're thinking is, our thought process is something that is for everyone. So the kids come over, they want to play Fortnite. Parents go over, Pac-Man. You know, they go over and they see, like, I played that, you know, WrestleMania game on arcade when I was little. We're bringing vintage stuff for the parents, but we're bringing, you know, the newer stuff for the kids and the
It's a lot of fun. I mean, you figure every industry has its vintage, and video games are fairly new. There wasn't vintage when we were growing up, right? Games are new. But now there is kind of a vintage and a nostalgia for adults and parents to get back into. It's not just pinball machines anymore. It's, you know, they're playing games. So where does this take place within the fair?
So it is taking place on the north end of the ground. So the big carnival, it's going to be right next to the carnival. So it's in the Armory building, which was
Home Arts on top.
Formerly the Home Arts building. So where you would have gone before to see your, you know, quilts and jams and those kind of things, you're going to go there now for all things e-gaming. And so we're excited. They've got a 20,000 square foot building that they are going to fill to the brim.
Wow.
So it's a half vendor, half gaming room. So we're going to bring in and do like a Comic-Con style vendor space as well. So we have, other than, you know, the gaming and stuff, we have people that are going to come out to sell cards, comics, toys, collectibles. We're going to have crafts and arts people. We actually have some really cool cosplayers that are coming out as well. So a lady who does Rita Repulsa from the Power Rangers, she's going to come out and do like she's a professional cosplayer. The guy, I believe, who actually did the stunts in Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze for Michelangelo, has the full costume, and he's going to come out and he does like a little demo. He'll flip around and stuff
cool.
in it. It's really rad.
Secret of the Ooze.
The Mando Mercs from the Mandalorians are going to come out and do a little demonstration. We might have some 501st Star Wars Stormtroopers.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
There's a guy that does 10 costume changes. He will be there like for a full day or 2 full days, and literally every other hour he'll be in a different costume doing a different thing, and they'll just be kind of, you know, strolling around, hanging out, high-fiving, you know, talking to the kids. It's going to be rad, like not just gaming, but everything, TV, pop culture, movie. I think we got a vendor that sells like horror stuff from horror movies, just Funko Pops. It doesn't, you know, whatever you're into, whatever you like,
something
you're
for
gonna find
everyone,
it.
from 1 to 101.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So if you buy a ticket to get into the fair, you can get into this area at no additional cost?
Yeah, the building is fully free. Everybody come in, hang out, have a good time. The gaming area, we are charging a small fee for gaming. It's going to be $5 for an hour's of play. $20 if they want an all-day pass, and then we have a $99 gamer pass that gets them into the gaming area to game every day of the fair that they come out. 100% free, but it also gets them into all the tournaments. So we are going to be having 3 major tournaments with cash prizes, and we're going to be giving away a Switch. We're going to be giving away some really awesome NFTs that, you know, the Fuego is sponsoring and helping us with. But a lot of this is going to be, we're going to be trying to run tournaments basically every day of the fair. We have, I think, 2 days that are going to just be, you know, all play, but I have my guys ready. Like, if there's 10 people there and they want to have a small Fortnite tournament, like, we'll do it. If they're,
so you can do it right on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's why having good people, you know, makes all the difference. You know, we have great people and they all love this stuff. And, you know, we're going to be live streaming the event throughout the fair. We have, these really cool, I don't know if you've ever played the Mario Kart Live on the Switch. It's actually a real Mario Kart race car, like remote control car, but you don't control it with a remote, you control it with your Switch. But you're playing Mario Kart on your Switch while it's in real life going through a track, and then you set up with like checkpoint stops, and you have to go through all the checkpoints and that sort of thing. So we're going to have that on like a projector, but we're going to have a live track out there. So we'll have a track out there.
It's really fun.
That's super
My
cool.
kids have it. It's really fun. And they set it up like through the house, and you're like,
you can set up like barriers and different
try doing
things
it with like
around.
grandparents around. You're like, oh my gosh, don't kill grandma.
Yeah, once you set it up too, it's like you're driving in the game on the Switch in first person, like you're in the Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But in real life, people can watch it going around the track. They can see what's happening, which is which is really cool. And
so we're teaching kids how to drive.
Right. It's a blend.
And we're going to do like a leaderboard with that. So like time trials, and whoever gets the fastest time at the end of the fair is going to get a prize.
So there's a whole lot of elements going on.
You know, with Fresno State, them sending out their collegiate players and their coaches, we're going to have coaching and, you know, help with that while they're there, and just information about, you know, what Fresno State does and their eSports program.
And there's going to be a great parents lounge where you can go, and there'll be some really nice comfy furniture. So, you know, if you bring your kids out and, you know,
let them loose,
they can do their thing. There is adult beverages located just to the south of it. So, you know, you can grab your beverage.
Our soccer fans will like that part.
Yeah, go
very much.
sit and, you know, watch your kids game and hang out and enjoy the fair. There'll be some live music. So
Awesome.
I keep telling people like $5 for your kid to go for an hour and do something else, and you to sit in a comfy chair. I mean, it's worth every one of those $5. Like you go out into the courtyard or the walk area of the fair, and you pay to sit in one of those things with the little foot massage or whatever. They're what are those, like $3 to $5?
I think they're like $3.
Yeah, they're $3. They last like
minutes.
4.5 minutes, and then you're done. Like 1 hour in a cushy chair. You can take a little nap. Your kids play video games. That's a great deal.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
So Nathan, you want to talk a little bit about why why we got involved in this and what components the Fuego will have in terms of our relationship with the fair and Blue Shell Gaming?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to be a ghost for right now, so you can't see me, but I'm back behind the soundboard and the video board. So we heard through Kevin that the fair was going to be happening this year, so we were really excited. The fair is like it's a Fresno tradition just across the board.
Absolutely.
It really doesn't matter like what your background is. I mean, I think about all the different ethnic communities and different parts of town that like they all have a connection to the fair.
We are a melting pot.
Yeah, and everybody feels like, hey, we are a part of this, and this is
your fair.
This is partially our thing. Like this is what we do. So yeah, I was super stoked, really excited. And especially after talking to Kevin, found out that there's going to be an esports element. And I know, like you had mentioned earlier, Chris, we've talked like day one about being involved in esports and seeing the value in that, and how important it is to be present in that community and play a part. And so we were really excited when we got a chance to talk with Kevin, and really we're thinking about like what is a relevant way for us to be a part of the community. So I think initially we talked about, hey, we could have a booth and kind of go the standard route, and then the more we kind of talked, we thought, well, that's great, like we definitely want to be there, but is there a way that we could actually support and actually be embedded into what that community is interested in and what that community believes in, and how can we, like I said, support and back that up and be present. So we're going to be sponsoring some of the tournaments, some of the prizes, and then we also talked about this other element that we could do to kind of involve kind of a cutting edge component to our participation, and we tossed around the idea of making an NFT for it. And we're going to be doing that. So,
and you need to like explain. So I
know,
haven't talked to Lauri very much about the NFTs.
NFT?
And
I'm going to have to ask.
I've had a heck of a time explaining it to anybody that I've talked to. And Nathan spent like over an hour explaining it to me. And I was still kind of like, okay. Yeah. But it's literally the cutting edge of collectibles. Yeah, it is the next generation of collectibles, and they're backed by cryptocurrency, and so they have real crypto value to them in addition to their collectability. And so when Nathan brought it to me, I was like, that sounds really cool. I know nothing about this or how to get into it. I know video games. And so luckily for us, you guys, this guy's the smartest guy I know, and I've known him for a while.
That's very true.
Wait, what is an NFT? I'm still really confused.
I feel like the way that I could like break it down in the most simplistic understanding of, at least my understanding of it, is if you can just imagine in the sports industry like a card, like a Michael Jordan rookie card, and that Michael Jordan rookie card is worth hella money, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Michael Jordan's rookie card, and they're only made X amount of them and released them into the public, and once you own it, you own that card. Like that card is yours. Nobody else owns it but you. And you can sell it or you can put it somewhere and display it in a nice way. An NFT, at least in the sports industry right now, is kind of modeling after that. So like we can create and mint or create this NFT that only you can own. So like let's say we draft a player and that player's rookie NFT is yours and you're the only one that owns that specific NFT. It's a collectible. It exists only in the digital space, so on a computer or a phone or something like that. And you can trade it, you can sell it, you can look at it, but it's yours. And so there's a value to it, just like a Michael Jordan rookie card. And a lot of that is backed in cryptocurrency, so you could sell it for
so this is genius.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you don't have the case where like we bought my son autographed Aaron Judge baseball for his birthday one year and he misplaced it. Yeah. So now you can't misplace these NFTs, right? This is beautiful.
Yeah. So NFT. So the acronym NFT stands for non-fungible token, which is basically just a really fancy way of saying it's unique. And so, kind of the illustration I use for people is most people don't think about the abstract space of their computer, right? Their desktop world. They don't think about that as being inherently unique because I can take a file and just make multiple copies of it, right? And to me, to the user, they might as well be the same thing, but there's metadata behind those things, and they're all actually slightly different. The ones and zeros behind those files are technically different, which is why your computer doesn't get confused about what file it's opening. And so all of that gets put into a really long algorithm, a really long, imagine like some Albert Einstein genius writing
like code.
A bunch of ones and zeros on a wall, right? So all that gets put into a system where it is quote unquote minted, which is essentially it's given its unique hash, its unique ID, and the great thing about the technology is that it's built on cryptography, so it's made to not be hackable, and it's using a set of technologies that are the best that we currently have, and so this thing that's being minted, this NFT, is unique. And a lot of people ask me like, yeah, but can I view it on the internet browser, or can't someone make a copy? And it's like, well, yes, they can make a copy, but they won't have the original. And so the illustration I use is, I can go to an art gallery. I can take a picture of the Mona Lisa. I can bring that to a print shop, have them print me one, but it's not, at the end of the day, it's not the painting itself. I can.
Have you tried to take a picture in an art gallery? You will be shot.
Yeah. So or like like a really famous guitar, or a really famous instrument.
Yeah.
What's important about it is that instrument had this relationship with this person. You theoretically could say, like, I could even take the atoms, and if I had some like Star Trek, sort of technology, like remake that, and then the question would be, okay, it's molecularly identical, but was that the instrument that this person played? And if it's not, right, it loses that uniqueness. And so the whole thing about the technology behind cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology is that to a space where we never really think about individuality or uniqueness, it's a way for us to track that uniqueness and understand that minted component as a unique item into itself, and it can't be replicated. And so by issuing unique items through this, through an NFT, we get to have those things live in the digital space now.
Okay, so I'm a visual learner. So like, is there a visual component? Okay.
I'll show you right here. So this is one that he's building right now. It will have a rotating coin.
Very cool.
And so there's going to be 3 different ones. There will be a Fuego one with the Fuego rotating coin. It'll say sponsored by Fresno Fuego logo here. And then there'll be another one with the Blue Shell logo coin, and it presented by Blue Shell Gaming. And then the last one will be Fresno Fair with the Fresno Fair logo, and it'll say hosted by Fresno Fair.
So we're so cool.
It's going to be cutting edge. Yeah. So they will have a monetary value to them, and because they will be on a cryptocurrency blockchain, and the value of it doesn't go up and down like a regular collectible would. Regular collectible, it's a supply and demand thing, so it does have some of that value, intrinsic value, but it's also a monetary value based on the amount of crypto that it's actually holding. Yeah. And so when that cryptocurrency raises in value, the NFT inevitably raises in value. So, I mean, it's almost like...
It's like a surfer riding on a wave. So the surfer can like crouch and stand, right? But then the wave also goes up and down. So the NFT can have some inherent value to it because of its uniqueness and its specialty. And, if we do this type of thing again next year...
When we do this next year.
Yeah. There will be this moment where people realize, oh, there was this first version that came out, and so that in and of itself can have value. But like Kevin was saying, because it is built upon an existing cryptocurrency and an existing blockchain, the value of that also rises and falls. So if I buy it for, if I traded somebody one coin of ABC, crypto, the value of that cryptocurrency going up and down means that one that I bought, its value goes up and down. And then if the card or the NFT becomes more valuable, maybe it's not worth 1, maybe it's worth 2 or 3 or 4, right? So there's this kind of like multi-layered, way that it can expand and contract in value and desire and uniqueness. So
the best way I figured out to describe it to people that they kind of catch it is, it's like a gold collectible coin from some collection. Mm-hmm. So it has its gold value because of the weight of gold that it's minted on. That's the crypto backing. But it's collectible because of the face or the series it is. So let's say it's like Elvis related. So if Elvis memorabilia also goes up in value, or somebody who's an Elvis collector wants that, it has its collectability value, but it's always going to stand on the value of the gold that's made with. And then but it all lives in the digital space, and then that's when I lose everybody. And they're like,
that's the hardest. That's the hardest thing I think for people, is to start beginning to understand that the digital space and the physical space are no different than each other. And it's funny because I've kind of watched video gaming over the last 30 years and thought about, man, video games are starting to look a lot more like real life. And in these last 5 years, I've started to realize real life's starting to look a lot more like video games. And, and I mean, that conversion and the blend of the digital and that's why I asked the question about Ready Player One, because we are living in this world now where you may not have this physical coin worth something, but you have a digital coin that's worth something, and it's kind of crazy. And
that's where, I get the question all the time, being a physical video game retail store, like everything's going digital. People are buying all their video games online. Nobody's buying physical video games anymore. Isn't your business going to become antiquated or, fall out? Absolutely not. Because no matter how many digital collectibles you make or how many digital video games you buy, that just drives the market up for vintage video games, for people who want to play things that they're nostalgic about. Everyone is shocked when I say it, and I'm going to say it right now because nobody believes me. I sell more PlayStation 2 consoles than any other video game system that I have in stock ever.
Really?
Right now.
I have one of those. Do you want to sell it?
Yeah, I need it. I can't keep it in stock.
Why is that?
So 3 years ago, I couldn't keep a Nintendo 64 in stock.
So it just keeps kind of pushing forward.
3 years before that, I couldn't keep a Super Nintendo in stock. It's the generational gap. Mm-hmm. So everyone who played a GameCube and a PlayStation 2 when they were a kid is now an adult They have a job, they have a career, they have their own money, and they're nostalgic for what they played when they were little. So it'll always progress in that direction, but there's still as many people buying original Nintendos and Super Nintendos and N64s. So the desirability of a console based on what someone grew up with, it transforms through the generations or through the time. But everyone who still played the older stuff, because every parent who plays video games is still teaching their kids about what they played when they were younger. So the spread of what people play or are nostalgic for is even bigger. And so I get people that come in like, man, I can't wait to play this game, or they're super fired up about this game. And it changes and it fluctuates as the generations go up, but it never slows down over here. The spread just gets wider.
Yeah.
We're not losing this market. Market's not as popular. This market's more popular now. So the popularity shifts with the growing or the aging of, gamers, but their desire to play what they played when they were younger is always going to be there.
Okay, so now I have a question. So how does YouTube play into all of that?
Or Twitch.
Or Twitch. Yeah,
So-
Twitch. So that's another one where, parents are really nervous about Twitch. And my kids are, they do both of them, both Twitch and YouTube. And I'm like, shoot, am I missing the ball? Should I be nervous about something?
I'm afraid of what I said 3 weeks ago on camera, let alone what I said when I was 12 years old. Right? Like, how's that going to come back to bite me? Right? So I can imagine that being kind of scary.
All it does is it fuels the fire. I mean, really, it adds to the medium. The more people who watch video games, the more people want to be involved in video games. Then that grows the video game industry. I watch specific people that game. I don't watch everyone, and I do watch quite a bit, but I mostly watch on YouTube. I don't prefer Twitch because...
What's the difference between the two? Twitch is live and YouTube is post-production?
Twitch is live. And it's only gaming and game-related stuff. For me, YouTube is my all-encompassing media pop culture outlet. So I have my subscribed channels. I watch gaming on YouTube, but I also watch reselling videos, people going and buying and reselling. I watch sports. I watch, information for, other hobbies and things that I have. YouTube kind of brings all of it together for me all at once. That's why YouTube's so easy for me to go on. What's new today? What can I watch today? They are branching out, and YouTube just picked up like two of the biggest Twitch live streamers, one of the biggest, which being Tim the Tatman. He just signed a big deal with like Complexity Gaming, who Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, owns, and he's doing partnerships with AT&T and all these other companies. But he went full time. He signed like a multi-million-dollar contract to leave Twitch and go stream full time on YouTube. And that's the way gaming is moving. Is these companies want to own people who bring people in. I was watching his live stream yesterday. He had something like 75 or 76,000 people watching all at once live. And then by the end of the stream, there was more than 1.5 million people that had logged in at one point and watched part of the stream and rewatched the stream.
I really wonder, as I just try to think creatively about this space, it's like, and maybe people are already doing this, but how cool would it be for us to have this same conversation, but while playing a video game and stream it on Twitch? Like, do podcasting via Twitch with your buddies or your friends or a guest while you're playing a video game. Like,
and that's kind of what they do. I mean, if you watch a guy like Tim the Tatman, he's not the best gamer. Like, he's not a professional gamer.
But you're interested in this conversation?
He engages with people. He's exciting to watch. He's entertaining. And even before he goes on and starts gaming, the first hour almost of his stream is literally him talking to the chat, talking on camera, eating his breakfast. Like, people love watching someone eat their breakfast while talking about video games or talking about what's going on in their life or talking about what they did this weekend. And so because he signed this big deal with the company owned by the Cowboys, and he's a Cowboys fan, he's doing like a meet and greet this Sunday at the like Cowboys facility to watch the games that are on Sunday, because there's not a game happening there, and like meet and greet with his fans. So they're like, oh yeah, we'll have like 400 or 500 people come out. It's looking like they're going to have 3,000 to 5,000 people show up for a meet and greet They're driving from all over the U.S. to meet this guy.
With the streamer.
And he's like, I'm nobody. Why are you coming to see me? But people engage in someone's life, and it's like the new reality TV for gamers or people who are excited about certain things. You know, as big as, you know, Survivor and Big Brother is, gaming and live streaming and backing people. You watch somebody that people are sitting there donating $5, $10, $50, $150 at one shot to this person just because they're watching them stream.
Yeah, I truly believe, and that's why I mentioned it earlier, is like I think it's shifting. The media industry is shifting from this overly produced studio version of shows and news and network television to like this format where they just get to take a deep dive into people and really hear like the long format and just real conversation. People like that. But I know we're kind of running short on time here. So to kind of wrap it up, what else can we look for at the fair this year? Is there anything new and exciting that people should be looking for?
There is so much. I mean, number one, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Yay.
We're so happy to be back. And we are so thankful for our community who, you know, well, we may not have had you there last year. The Fresno community supported us in so many ways. You came out and you drove through the fairgrounds and you bought your food.
I was in
I
line.
sat in line for a cinnamon roll.
My cinnamon roll box,
Oh
my
my gosh,
box
you
of cinnamon
guys.
rolls. I can't have any this year. I'm on a really strict diet. I'm really upset. Last year, or two years, I keep calling it last year because it was the last fair. That buffalo chicken mac and cheese chimichanga with the hot Cheeto dust on the cap was the best thing I've eaten in 2 years.
And it'll be back.
And I can't eat it this year because I'm on a really strict diet. So
Okay, but-
I'll eat it
I'm
for
very
you.
upset. No,
Well, I
can't,
mean, like-
I can't.
All right. Well, let's
My dietitian's
we'll
like, if you slip one time, you drop all the way out of keto and you start over again. Like I'm on this really strict like protein keto. I've lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks. So
Congrats.
Good job.
I'm fighting the urge to like order a
We can work on
pizza.
putting it all back on during those 2 weeks of the fair if you want.
Seriously.
I would too. I'm like, I'm moving into the worst season to be on a diet.
Yeah.
The fair's the best food in town. Thanksgiving, I mean, hello, and then Christmas time. And it's just, I'm like, I can't even get a pumpkin spice latte at
It'll be okay,
Starbucks.
though. It'll be worth
So,
it. It'll be
Yeah,
worth it. Keep doing
I'll
it.
live vicariously through other people, and I'll sniff their food. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Smell is half of taste, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, you know, we thank everybody for being behind us and, you know, and being there and being supportive of us being back and putting on this 2021 Big Fresno Fair. As I have told all of our staff, you know, we're not going to look the same. We are going to be a little different. It's hard to come out of this, and it's been a struggle. You don't realize how much you forget not doing a fair, even just for 1 year. But there's a lot of it that we're like, oh my gosh, we forgot. Oh my gosh, we didn't do this yet. So, you know, be patient with us because we are, you know, going full steam ahead.
One of the preparations you guys were behind a little bit because normally you start planning for the next fair right after the previous fair.
Yeah.
And then because of stifling and time and then also with staffing.
And everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
How many people come through the fair per year?
in 2019, we had over 660,000 over
Holy cow.
we were 13 days in 2019.
Wow. Is it one of the larger fairs in California?
We are the fourth largest fair in the state of California,
Wow.
and we are the largest and the longest running event from Los Angeles to San Francisco.
Wow.
We're proud of what we do, and we are a reflection of our community. And you know, Kevin mentioned it. We're your fair. I mean,
Legitimate concerts, like every year there's legitimate artists coming
we've got
through
artists
there.
coming, and we're so excited for some of the concerts. We've got Midland coming out. We've got Smokey Robinson.
Ooh.
I think he's going to put on an amazing show.
That'll be fun.
We've got Chris Tomlin. He's our Christian act, and I mean, he's going to be fantastic.
Is there a Spanish act this year as well?
We have Ramon Ayala
Oh, yeah.
coming,
Ramon's
and
great.
then I know Ramon. He is like a favorite. Like people love Ramon.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have him.
Quick little side story. I also do concerts on top of doing sports, and
Is there anything you don't do?
I know.
no gaming. Those are the only three:
Yeah,
gaming, concerts, and soccer. But Ramon Ayala, I mean, he's getting up there in age, and I remember we had him at a show in Fresno and then later that night at another show in Modesto. So he performed in Fresno at Chick Chansey Park. They took him in a tour bus up to Modesto, and I mean, he's an older guy.
Yeah.
They walk him up on the stage. He stands in the spot, and he jams on the accordion. Like one of the best accordion players of all time.
So talented.
He is so incredible. And to watch them perform is a ton of fun. So people should really go. Whether you're a fan of that style of music or not, like it's worth to go watch him.
Absolutely.
And also one of my fondest memories of concerts. I've been to a lot of concerts in my life, but one of my fondest memories was Criss Cross at the Fresno Fair. I'm serious. I went in junior high. I went to see Criss Cross at the Fresno Fair. It was my best friend, and we didn't even get into the actual like grandstand. They had like the screens on the outside, and we had to stand outside. But it was still one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to because it was so iconic for me, and it was like one of the first big shows I went to was in junior high. And so yeah, every time
I had the same experience. I watched 112.
Oh,
so,
man,
a
I
little
love
R&B.
too. I love
See,
R&B.
and I mean, everyone has that experience, and it's such like a fun outdoor, intimate
venue.
Theater. We love, and we're so excited to have concerts back. We are bringing in this year some awesome tribute bands. So we have Queen Nation coming.
Ooh.
Queen Nation is the largest Queen tribute band in the nation.
Wow.
And so they're going to be coming out to the fair. So Nelly and Blanco Brown.
Wow.
I mean, we've got entertainment. We've got our exhibits. So we've got our traditional ones with our, jams and jellies and kids art and photography. We've got some new ones that are showcasing everything that's like cool and unique about Fresno. It's called Live in Local, and it's products that are made locally in Fresno in the Central Valley, and that, are unique and special. So we've got soaps, we've got jewelry, we have, signage, we have specialty barbecues and coffee and just that kind of stuff. So it's like this whole mercantile that is all about what makes the Central Valley unique. And, you can go and get all of your super cool products that are made here. We've got 7 days of live horse racing back.
Yay.
So excited for that. And
That's
our Fresno
fun.
community loves their horse racing.
They do.
Yeah.
So we're excited for racing.
Can you tell us? I know that there's modifications to the times that the fair is open this year because of like no schools and no field trips. How does that affect horse racing? Because I know that opening later in the day on the week, normally I remember going, and I have a buddy who just loves horse racing, so we go every year.
What's not to love?
We're there early. And so I'm like, wait, if the fair's not opening till 4, how are we doing early horse racing?
So our hours have changed. So when Tuesday through Thursday, we don't open until 4 p.m. So we open 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we open at 10 a.m. Horse racing is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Well,
So that's how it works. So horse racing will be out. Post time is 1:45 every day. We've already got hundreds of horses there every day doing workouts. So bring your dollars. Get on your phone.
I've never
You've never
actually
placed a
left.
bet?
No, I've never
Okay.
left the fair winning in horse racing. I've won a few bets, but I end up putting it on. I've never actually left the fair up in value.
This will
on
be
horse
the year.
racing.
Yeah.
This is the year.
I mean,
We'll make it happen.
So I guess my last question for you as the expert who's been involved in this forever, what is your recommendation on how to have the best experience? Because I know I've gone at different times in the day, and there's a different experience every time on day of week that I go, what time I go, the crowd, and what type of people go on different days. What's your recommendation to be able to see everything and do everything you want to do and have the best time possible?
You've got to go more than once.
There you go.
You've got to go more than once. So, I mean, if it's me and it's our family, you've got to go a couple times, and, you want to hit the exhibits, because that is really what a fair was built on and what it was based on. And, that was, back in the 1800s, that's what a fair was. It was everyone bringing their prized possession and exhibiting that. And so you want to go see that and see that nostalgia. And, you want to go watch the kids show their animals, because that's a lost art, watching our kids, raise these animals in the 4-H and the FFA and what they do and the year-long commitments that they have for, those projects. And then you've got the shopping, and the shopping is, it's fun, it's unique. It's, there are things you can only get at, the fair. But then you've got to have a day dedicated to the food.
I think you have to have two dedicated.
You might, yeah.
Like,
and Fresno,
as much as you'd like to eat everything at one time, you have to split it up.
So you also need to go with a group, and you split items so that you can keep,
Smart.
You gotta, but you want to try it all. And Fresno loves our food. We are a community who loves our food. We are bringing in food trucks this year. So food trucks have never really been a part of the fair, but by and large, people are like, hey, there are some amazing food trucks, and we would love to, be able to sample some of that too. So we have 3 food trucks that'll be staying through the whole 12 days of the fair, and then we have 2 locations that'll be rotating in and out. So we're going to get
ask because I can't eat it anymore.
all of our favorite food trucks in. But to hit it all, you get there early, and you plan to spend all day. And there are hundreds of seating areas where you can, take a minute and, sit down and relax and go to the gaming area.
You can pay $5 and let your kid play.
Let your kid play.
Right.
Go out there and do all the carnival rides and, have fun with that, and go check out the Table Mountain Rancheria Park area where, if you've got kids, you can let them just run wild and go down the slides and do all of that. So, I mean, we joke and people are like, oh yeah, but we really have something for everyone. And, if you come to the fair and you're like, oh, it's the same old thing, nothing's changed, then I want you to come see me and tell me what hasn't changed, and I'm going to fix that, because, we pride ourselves on having something new for everyone every year. And, like I said, by and large, we are just so excited to have our community back. It's hard when you're in this business and you don't get to be with people. I mean, that's what we thrive on, and we love producing these events and watching people come and forget their normal life and just have a great time. And that's what I think everybody needs right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like people are hungry to get back for anything.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be packed.
And I think that's what we love about gaming, and the gaming aspect of it too, is there's something for everybody, because there's so many different types of games and things. And that's why we work so well with the fair, because we do offer the same kind of thing, but we also have a calendar of events, and we're going to have different tournaments on each day. So if you want to compete in multiple tournaments, you need to come multiple times to the fair. We want to sell these like all-day passes, not because we want someone to sit and play video games all day, but because we want them to be able to come and play some games, go and experience the fair and do other things, eat and have fun, and then come back and compete in a tournament or do something else, and then still have time to go back out and do more stuff. It's just one of those, like, don't pigeonhole yourself to like, can I do it all at one day? Can I do it all at one time?
Yeah.
It's just never going to happen.
Yeah, and you've got 12 days. Spread it out. Enjoy it. Have fun. I mean, we're once a year. Once a year, 12 days, once a year. Come out.
The weather's going to be great.
The weather's
always good in October.
It's going to be
it's
fantastic.
The best.
We kind of start hitting those fall mornings.
I love
It's been so pretty lately.
It has.
Well, except for the smoke, but
I know
it's a
At
whole
least
nother
it's
thing.
cooler though.
Yeah.
Yes, it is cooler.
So tell me where, like social media, where can people find you guys? Website, how can they buy tickets, all that type of stuff?
So for us, we're FresnoFair.com. Everything is on our website. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, Fresno Fair, Big Fresno Fair. So we've got everything out there. Discount tickets, best way to get discount tickets. I will say this on this podcast, and I don't usually say this, but if you pay full price to come to the fair, you didn't try hard enough. You honestly did not try hard enough. Go to any Save Mart or Food Max, and you can get a discount ticket to come to the fair. We have a kids' day. We have a senior citizens' day. So we've got lots of ways for people to save. FresnoFair.com has all the information. You can always call us at 650-FAIR, and we will talk you through anything you need. But we're so excited. And, we're excited for this partnership, and it's not going to go away. It is just going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah. And
year-round thing.
We are, we're at blueshellgaming.com. We do a lot of our stuff on social media. So at Blue Shell Gaming on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But we also have the same kind of thing. So we have a Tuesday and a Thursday that we're going to be doing buy one, get one. So buy an hour, get an hour free in the video game area. Or if you have 2 kids, buy an all-day pass, get an all-day pass free. Because we want to be accessible to those who, need a little bit. And then all of our tournaments do have, buy-ins. But if you buy an all-day pass, you get entered to that tournament. Or if you buy a all-fair pass, you get entered into all tournaments. So you can be there any day and you can compete in any tournament. And, who doesn't want... you go to the horse races and you have a chance. But if you go here and you play a video game in a tournament, you control your destiny, and if you win, there's significant prize money. I mean, we're talking, $1,500 to $1,000 in some of these prize pools. So there's some cash money to be given.
And you
away.
buy your gaming pass, and you get a cool collectible.
Yeah, because you get a lanyard with
on the wall.
Lanyard with a really cool pass.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do
Thank
this.
you. We're excited to have Fuego be a part of the fair
Absolutely.
too, and
We're
be
pumped.
in this building.
Well, and other than, I mean, we talked a lot about NFTs, but other than that, you're gonna have the mascot come out. We're gonna have players.
No
Possibly?
players yet.
No players
yeah,
yet?
players.
Okay.
We don't get players in until January, February
But
of
you'll
next
have
year.
information about seeding and about next season.
Exactly.
We'll be doing the big FIFA tournament. FIFA tournament's going to be the first Saturday on the 9th. So that'll be a guaranteed $500 prize pool, if not more. And then we're going to be giving away the Fuego NFT to the winner of that tournament. So
cool.
that would be a little bonus to the winner of that tournament. And then the Smash tournament, Smash Bros, is the following weekend, and that will be between $500 and $1,000 prize pool, and we're going to give away the Blue Shell NFT for that one, and then we'll have Fortnite on the Sunday as well. We have a lot of big games, so no matter what you play, there's going to be a day. We're even doing a Monday night Madden. So Monday Night Football is going to be on the TVs, and we're going to do Madden tournament, let people play Madden while watching Monday Night Football. And so it'll be a cool place to just come hang out, watch the game, or watch people game on Madden.
Love it.
And you can go to our website and get all of this information that Kevin's been talking about.
Yeah, we'll share on all of our social media platforms as well, and so we'll have information coming out so that people are informed.
We're definitely rushing to try to get as much information out as quickly as we can. We're all kind of scrambling to get done as much as we can because of how late of a start we got this year, unfortunately. But I mean, we still have partnerships that we're working on. I'm meeting with the Fresno Unified School District to try to get some eSports people to come out for them as well. Fresno State's coming out for 2 full days. They're going to bring the big inflatable bulldog outside. We're going to have a 13-foot Mario outside of our building.
Wow.
We just got it from China. I have to inflate it. I need to make sure it works.
Right.
And then once we figure that out,
make sure it's not Luigi.
Oh man, I could imagine. No, actually, working with some of the Chinese companies, they do a really good job of they send you videos and pictures of things. They don't want to send it to you until you approve it, because if you get it and you don't like it,
it's expensive to get it back over there.
Oh yeah.
So here's one that we totally didn't talk about: the fair dates.
Oh.
Yes. Oh yeah.
October 6th through the 17th. So 2 weeks from yesterday. 2 weeks. Not
It's
to
coming
stress
quick.
you out, Kevin.
Oh,
2 weeks.
I'm already stressed out, but that's not just this. There's a lot going on. Running a business with 3 locations and partnerships with, major schools, and a big partnership with the fair, and 2 weeks of staffing, 2 weeks of staffing at a fair and 2 weeks of staffing in 3 locations. It's going to be interesting.
Well, we're thankful you exist, and we're thankful that you have this company that's pushing this forward into the new age of gaming and just competition. I think it's a beautiful thing that us in the sports industry are really latching ourselves to, because it's a sport. It's a sport, and we believe it is. So super excited for this. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
We'll have all the
Partnership.
information.
We really appreciate the sponsors and the things you guys have given us, and we just hope that moving forward in esports that we can, be a better group. We can offer what you guys need in your partnership with us, and then in turn we can help you guys grow the FIFA esports brand too, because a soccer season is only a few months, but when you can play soccer all year long, that keeps the passion for the game.
Absolutely.
And that's the most important thing. Passion for what we do.
Yep. Exactly. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. We'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.